In small budgets, it grew from 10% to 33% considering open source as an alternative to drive a lower cost BI solution. In the mid-market, from 3% 3 years ago to 20% in the next 3 years. And even in the large enterprises where you'd think money would be more plentiful, moving from 5% to 8%. And of course, that seems like a small increase, but when you consider the dollars behind those largest enterprises, it's actually bigger than the other two. So growing interest in using open source as a fuel for cost cutting and finding more insight from a lower budget. They went on to dig into it. I won't go into this other than to say, because this probably is consistent with what you're finding in your own organizations, cost-cutting BI trends including delivering more self-service techniques, dashboards that can help more knowledge workers begin from a point of simplicity, and something organizationally referred to as super user networks, which is harnessing those power users that are out around the organization and bringing them into part of sort of like a super user IT team to help spread the knowledge around the organization. These are the three of the most important low-cost, cost-cutting methods inside the enterprise. The final point here comes from yet another study, this one by an analyst firm called Third Nature, who simply studied the 3-year average costs of BI implementations, traditional tools versus open source. And they plotted it based upon the size of the deployment, small, medium, and large. And it basically says even in small installations, an open source BI tool is going to save you almost $37,000 over 3 years. In a medium-sized implementation, over $223,000. And then if you have a big budget and you're driving a large BI implementation, the cost benefits accrued to you can be as high as $1.5 million on average over 3 years. So the bigger the implementation, not so surprising perhaps, the more likely an open source approach is going to give you big scale advantages. So these are the 3 areas that are having such a big impact on this future network-based computing, and business intelligence as a subset. The consumer-like approach, this flexible architecture, and then the low-cost techniques, because we no longer have the benefit or the luxury of months and months to value in a project. Right? We have days or weeks now to prove the value. And so this fast time to value approach, friction-free way of proving something's going to have value has become required rather than nice. And to do this, it's really about having new skills that are well-suited for this network-centric world and the new expectations being brought, not only to information systems in general, but specifically to BI. And so I'll spend just a minute here talking about the right skills and the right platform. The first, you'll be happy to know, is about the right skills. And it's a term here that I'm going to use that we've recently coined to personify the customer who is using the BI tool and turning it into something that's really powerful for the end user. And the term we've built is called the BI Builder. And the BI Builder exists today as that hero in the equation to turn a BI tool into an actual application that can be consumed by a wide audience and solve a variety of business problems. And the BI Builder exists at this intersection of business intelligence and web-based applications, understanding how to deliver in a Web 2.0-like approach, a tool that can actually be consumed by somebody whose expectations are quite high for simplicity of use, breadth of insight, and so on. And the BI Builder comes with a variety of different titles. We've been pretty flexible about what we see in the world as a BI Builder. Anybody from a software developer who needs to build in BI into that point application to solve a temporal problem, through to an IT or data warehouse manager who's trying to solve a host of problems for a variety of end users, hopefully using a flexible tool that will rise to the occasion. Even report writers and so on have their own role as BI builders. And so what's needed today is a platform that will appeal to this BI builder, because it's the marriage of knowledge of the data and the business problem to be solved that is so important, so seminal for the BI builder to understand. And I've given some examples here of BI builders that have worked with Jaspersoft. It's essentially all of our customers are BI builders. These are people who take our tool and fashion it into something that's going to solve a real problem. Whether it's a genuine commercial software company that's embedding Jaspersoft inside of their tool and reselling it as their BI, which is a popular market for Jaspersoft, or in this case, a government entity, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, for integrating BI inside of an internal application and delivering it, to the University of Nebraska that's delivering a student and faculty information system that has BI as our BI tool as a critical layer of understanding student records and student data, through to a systems integrator. Today, you're going to hear from our colleagues at Naked Data, and they've just done a wonderful job understanding the last mile of knowledge of customers and BI tools and web application design. In this case, I've used Full 360 as well as another example, a US-based integrator that we partner with. So it is all about solving this business problem that the BI builder is uniquely skilled to solve. And they do so, fortunately for Jaspersoft, using our tools. I'm not going to go into them here. So Michael and our friends from Naked Data are going to explain and demonstrate some of this. But I just put it up here as a quick graphic to say these are the tools that comprise the Jaspersoft Business Intelligence Suite, upgraded recently to version 4. And I'm going to talk about that ever so briefly because we have a demonstration of it. But the point is that what we've created within the Jaspersoft BI Suite is a very flexible, modern architecture that appeals to that end customer that's expecting a consumer-like approach. So we use HTML, dynamic HTML, and Ajax to provide a very interactive experience, dynamic charting, animations, and so on. The ability to mash up data, so it doesn't have to come directly from the Jaspersoft world. You can bring data in from other sources, anything that's URL addressable, providing contextually relevant dashboards, very powerful. It can be mobile, enabled through mobile approaches. So this is an example of an iPad theme that's going to be released shortly. Ultimately, we fit into 160,000 production uses of our tool around the globe, about 180 different countries. So this modern design, this lightweight scalability, so critical. I like to say that as in stark contrast to the old proprietary tools that we commonly replace, that Jaspersoft, the complete suite downloaded, can fit onto a 500 megabyte zip drive. And that's testimony to, if you're going to create something today, you're going to do it with a very modern approach. And the benefits of that approach manifest in smaller code size, less resources required to run and manage it, administer it, and all that equals cost savings. The flexible architecture also allows us to be deployed at once on-premise in a traditional server setting, in a virtualized container as a software appliance, in a SaaS-based multi-tenant mode. You can actually, our product is actually multi-tenant at its core. So if you need to stand it up on a server and serve multiple organizations, you can do so natively. It also runs out of the box in the cloud, public or private. And we have customers and partners using all of those deployment techniques and more. And in some cases, we don't even know about it because it's just one product, one platform that is automatically suited to doing all of this. And we have customers that have been doing this with us for years. We even have our own live trial environment that's hosted in the Amazon EC2 cloud. So if you come to our website and downloading our tools are too difficult, you can just go to the live environment, which is a cloud-based version, and try it out there. Putting no friction is the idea, no friction in the way. The last point is about cost effectiveness. And the open source model gives us this great advantage to go deliver a tool set that's very low cost. It also forces us as a company into a financial model where we think very cleverly about how efficient we can be and how we can create a profitable software company using a different approach than those we've preceded. And so we use community very extensively as an open source company. We're proud to have an enormous community, 200,000 registered members. We'll pass over that mark this month. We have, under cost-effective studies, the lowest TCO. Gartner even admits that Jaspersoft's about 82% less over time than the average proprietary competitor. We so believe in this that we even have a service that's called Data to Dashboards in 4 days. Just point us at your data sources and we can get reports and dashboards flowing ever more quickly. If it weren't for this low-cost approach, many of the thousands of customers that use Jaspersoft simply wouldn't have a BI answer. One of my favorite examples is Virgin Money Giving in the UK, which creates a charitable organization donation website where they're trying to enable charities to collect money in a low-cost way that allows more of the donations to actually make it to the causes that they've been designed for. And of course, in doing so, they chose Jaspersoft because they don't want to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for a BI tool, and they can get everything they need from us. What we've worked very hard at over the last year and a half is the release of our newest product called Jaspersoft 4, new version that is radically improved from its predecessor. We've essentially redesigned the upper third of the architecture to be easily customizable in a way that allows a BI builder to make Jaspersoft 4 into their BI with ways and skills that are far easier than anything you've seen in the past. So it's designed for the BI builder and designed for this web application of the new IT world. We're very proud of what we've done, and we will be able to iterate and improve on Jaspersoft 4 much more rapidly. So you'll see us as we move through this fiscal year, you'll see Jaspersoft have several releases of our product now where we're providing richer analytic functionality every release to give our customers more and more features on which they can draw to build better and better BI solutions for the BI builder. My last point with you today, is about, because I've not talked much about Jaspersoft as an open source company, but it is a genuine source of strength for us, being a commercial open source company. And whether you're in our community using our free open source products, or whether you're exclusively a commercial customer relying on Jaspersoft as you might with any commercial software relationship, regardless of where you are on that spectrum, there's a benefit to you because of the existence of the other, which is the intention of my diagram here. In open source, especially commercial open source, you give either your money or your time. Both are incredibly valuable, and both help a company in a project like Jaspersoft to thrive. The community members who use our free software, arguably what they give is their time. They help us by providing code contributions, software quality assurance help, localization, forum, question and answer support, a wide variety of things that makes our ecosystem the most powerful BI ecosystem in the world. And for that, we're eternally grateful, and it's a rich, vibrant ecosystem because of the community. If you're a commercial customer, you give your money, which helps make a financially sound Jaspersoft that can in turn work with that community, making the open source products better as well as the commercial versions stronger. So it's this symbiotic relationship. One without the other wouldn't be as strong. And when the dust settles, Jaspersoft will be measured less by the fact that we're an open source company and more by the fact that we're a successful business intelligence software company. But what will long endure are the principles of open source, which every software company should embrace. Not just the friction-free downloads, which is nice and achieves broad distribution, but the principles are far more important, and those principles are transparency and collaboration and participation. It forces Jaspersoft and its community to work together in ways that are unique and special. They're different than a traditional software company relationship. I'm really proud of what we're doing at Jaspersoft. And I say every day internally that what we want to do is build the most admired software company on the planet. That's really what we're after. And that admiration comes from successful customers and community and this symbiosis that I've described. So I'm hoping that if you aren't already a member of the Jaspersoft community or commercial customer base, that you'll want to be, and that you'll contribute, participate, collaborate with either or both your money or your time. All of it is appreciated, and all of it strengthens the entire community and commercial customer base. If you like anything that I've said, I would want you to keep in touch and let us know. We're incredibly well discussed on the web and well published at 2 websites. One's not enough for us. We have to have 2. We have jaspersoft.com, which is our commercial site, and then jasperforge.org, which is our community website. Together, they have more than 1 million page views a month. 112,000 unique Google searches occur for Jaspersoft branded terms every month. Because of the size of what we've created, our volumes approach something that's more consumer-like, which seems appropriate given the quest, the journey that we're after. And with that, I'll just say thank you for letting me be part of this event in Melbourne. It's just a blast to be here. And I hope to be able to get out and see some of Melbourne maybe the next time that I visit. But I thank you for your hospitality and for your attention. Thank you.